get him going. It just shows that he's joining. So, all right, let's see. He's got to be almost in here. There we go. All right, Sven, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me now?
I can, man. Why did you kick yourself out of the room and leave all these people waiting? Can you tell me?
Well, I wish I knew what's going on your side.
Man, I got problems going on today. I'm not gonna lie. I have to take full responsibility for this one. I wish I could blame it on anyone else, but it's 100% me. So while you were gone, people got to sit here and kind of watch me and watch my face and probably see some stress on my face as I'm going through here trying to get you back in. But Sven, we wasted a little bit of time here this morning, and I apologize to everybody. But I want to get to the good things. And Sven, I kind of updated people on the direction that we're going. I know you heard some of that in 2021 inside of Lionshare. Really kind of giving the power to the people to help us make some of these decisions on the direction that we go inside of the Lionshare smart contract. We released a brand new product that you have been behind and done an amazing job. So I wanted to bring you out today to kind of just explain a little bit about the new product, talk about it. And then, as we said, we're going to allow people to come out and ask questions, regardless whether it's about the new project, the new product, or any of the things coming in the future. So I'm going to give it to you, man. I do apologize for kicking you out. And for everyone who had to sit there and wait, I apologize as well. But let's get this thing rolling, Sven. I'm going to give you the floor.
Yeah, sure. So it will be a little bit ad hoc, as I don't have access to all of the documents since I had to move to a different computer because apparently the Zoom block is a hard block on the computer hardware ID. So it doesn't matter from that point, you cannot rejoin in no matter what you do. So let's move forward. As James most probably mentioned, we have launched a new product, Security Audit. The first audit is already available in your back office, and hopefully a lot of you have already taken a look on it. And assuming that the community feel that this is a valuable product, we will work with adding more of these audits moving forward. The idea behind the security audit is that there is a lot of decentralized opportunities out there. But the question is, how do you know if an opportunity is good or not, or if it is an opportunity that you would like to move forward with? And this can be a very difficult question to answer if you get confused when you're trying to read over the smart contract. If you don't understand what the smart contract is doing, you will be unable to double check the marketing claims that the opportunity is making. With our experience, we feel that this is a way we can help the community, making sure that you can make an educated choice before deciding if a decentralized opportunity is the right one for you. I think the most important point to make about the security audit is that it is completely unbiased. Anything that is brought up in the audit will either be backed up with unit tests for the smart contract behavior or with math. This means that everyone can go through the information and double check and verify it. So I think what we should do is basically just open up for any questions. Basically, you can ask any questions on the work process behind an audit, how we are working, what we're doing to get to that part. Or if you have any questions that's specific to the latest security audit of Lionshare Pro, feel free to ask that as well.
So Sven, I'm going to jump in here really quickly as we start to answer these questions, and I like addressing elephants in the room sometimes because I just rather get it out. Right? We're all transparent here, right? And this is a community, and I want to make sure to get one thing just really clear that I hope everybody heard Sven say. The opinions that are placed on these security audits are unbiased. When you're looking at any report that we have, it's based on the actual smart contract, right? It's based on mathematics, and those two things don't lie. Now, people lie, right? We all lie to an extent, but smart contracts, the blockchain, the mathematics behind it do not lie. So when you're looking at this, and Sven, I know one question that we're probably going to get is, hey, why did you decide to go with Lionshare Pro first? And I just wanted to add my opinion really quick into it because I know that a lot of people might be questioning that. Anytime we have anything or anyone out there using our brand, using our name, we want to make sure to protect ourselves, number one. But number two, we want to make sure that you know exactly what's going on out there. So if you're looking at that opportunity or any opportunity out there, we want to make sure that you have the real true understanding, not what the marketing material says, not what the people behind it say, but what is actually happening. So that's what you're seeing. And Sven, I know you didn't ask me to do that, but I rather just to straight up address it than, let people sit there and wonder and say, hey, are they just doing this because, of what happened? So I'm sure that's on people's minds to an extent. So, with that being said, everybody, you have an opportunity here today to ask pretty much any question that you want. If you'd like to raise your hand, I can bring you out and unmute you. Or if you'd like to ask the question inside of the chat, you can absolutely do that as well. And we will be able to answer those. Okay. So let's start with the questions. If you guys have questions, let's get them rolling. Again, you can either raise your hand. If you raise your hand, I'm going to ask you to unmute and you can come out and speak. Or if you'd like to put it in the chat, we can answer it right there as well. Okay. All right. We'll allow the questions to come in. So Sven, as we're waiting on these questions to come through, one thing that we haven't talked that much about is, giving people the opportunity to kind of figure out, which opportunities, which smart contracts, how are we going to decide that? I know that might be one question that comes up, as a smart contract or as a product developer, how are we going to determine which opportunities we are actually looking at to do a security audit on? Can you maybe talk about that as we're waiting on the questions to come in?
Yeah, sure. That kind of ties into some news that we're coming out with after we're finished with the questions. But uh, the clear answer there is, of course, that it's the community that decides. The community will vote on which opportunity they feel that we should do next, and then, of course, the one that gets the most votes is the one that will move forward with first.
Okay, awesome. All right, so anybody have a question here? Just raise your hand. I see Karina. Karina, I see you have a question. It might be in regards to Spanish, but I'm going to unmute you anyway and let you come out and see if you have a question specifically for us. Okay, here's a question. Simon, do you want to come out and ask this, or do you want me to read it for you? I'm gonna have. Hey, if you guys haven't heard Simon's accent, you are in for a treat. Okay, I want this guy to come out and ask this question. He's shaking his head at me. He probably didn't want to. All right, Simon, come out. I have asked you to unmute. So, Simon, let's hear what you have to say.
Hi, James. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. Good morning over there, isn't it? Good afternoon here. Good evening, and probably good night or morning over on the other side of the world there in New Zealand. Yeah, I haven't got a question really regarding the security audit. It's just a technical problem that some of my members and myself are having with actually buying tables and upgrading tables using the TronLink wallet. Particularly on phones, it seems to be bad, but when I've tried to do it myself, I still get a red warning because I know there's enough Tron in my wallet. Then I'm okay just carrying on and ignoring it. But for a lot of people, that it would be better good if that could be sorted out.
So with your question there, the problem there is that there is a delay on the blockchain, and in many cases we've had that happen because it has been reported before. It's because they have received the funds, but the Web3 connection that we are using to check that is unable to know that you actually have the funds available, and that's why the warning is there. The problem we had at the start was that there was a lot of people that did not account for the energy cost on Tron, so they just had exactly the amount they needed to buy the product, and then they kept failing, and you had people that was trying 20, 30, 40 times, and they were failing each time, and each time, as you know, it was eating their energy cost. And because of that, and that's why the error message has been added there. But when you're saying that you're seeing it every time, is that how long has the funds been in your account? Do you know that?
I'm not currently doing it, so I did manage to get my transaction to work in the end, but it was still bringing up that red message first. My teammate, he can't upgrade his table at all. He keeps trying. He's tried about 10 times now, and he's got plenty of Tron in his wallet. So
yeah, because if you're getting the error message, it will also say at the end that you can click again to perhaze to force the perhaze. But if he's not able to do it, then there is something else that's wrong, because what is if you can send that to James, then we can take a look if we get his wallet address, because without that,
Actually,
yes, he has got it. Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, Sven, we kind of worked with support a little bit on this and can't quite figure it out, but I have the wallet address. So Simon, I will shoot that to Sven today, and he's much smarter than I when it comes to this, so he might be able to take a look at this and figure out what's going on.
Brilliant. Thanks for that.
Thanks, man. Hey, again, I love your accent. That's why I brought you out here. So I know that was
Thanks.
I could have answered. So thanks, man. We appreciate it. All right. So here's a question, Sven. This might be for, well, I mean, I know we both could answer it, but I want you to answer it from a technical perspective. The question is basically they want to understand, if the price of Tron was to spike, do we have the ability to adjust the pricing on our tables if that was to happen, and kind of the process in which that would happen? Because basically what they're saying is they know, they don't know any other smart contracts that can do that. They want to know, is that for real, or is that just marketing, or how does that work?
well, yes, we can do that. We already did it on the Ethereum already, but all that's happening in that case is that we are doing a request on every level on the smart contract and asking it to change the price. And that would automatically reflect the pricing that the people would need to pay. So that can go both ways, up and down. Tron is very stable, so I don't think we need to change it on the Tron. But as I said, we already did it on Ethereum, and we can do it again if needed.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So, there you have it. We have already done this. I still haven't seen any other contracts out there that have the ability to do that. I've seen some that have tried to have a constant change on the pricing, which we know that the fees on doing something like that are just, outrageous. So it's not possible to do. So that's an important thing when you talk about us, how we're different from other contracts out there. That is one big one that we started with from the very beginning. So let's see here. Any other questions here that you guys have? I mean, you have us wide open to ask any questions about the contract, the future of 2021, the tokens, the new products, anything like that. We'd be more than happy to answer. So you can either put it in the chat, or we can bring you out. Even with that, I'll bring out another person. If you raise your hand, we'll unmute you. I don't really care. Any questions? Okay, so Sven, we got someone asking about the airdrop. Can you tell us a little bit more about the airdrop, exactly how that's going to work, and maybe just talk? They're asking just a little bit more about the tokens. Can they have a little bit more of an understanding of the tokens and the airdrop? Because not everyone is familiar with like that terminology. Like, how does that even work?
Okay, so an airdrop is basically something that a lot of tokens and a lot of providers of ICOs and other things are doing to spike interest about their tokens. Basically, they're giving away that and that many of their tokens to people for doing something. In our case, we are not wanting to get anything back. We're just giving this to the community members that are interested. So the way it will work is that we will set up a system where you will, if you would like to receive the token, you will need to register. And then when the token is ready to be launched, you will receive an amount of token depending on the rule set. So there will be several parameters here. No matter what, you will get tokens if you sign up. But for example, if you have market and made sales or made an effort, you will get more tokens than if not. So it will be also be based on your efforts. And of course, there will be random drawings around, for example, with L3, the people that are making sales there, there will be random drawings there that for people that will receive additional tokens. But the idea is to give away the amount of tokens that we have available to the community. And then from that point on, it will be used for voting and deciding the direction that Lionshare will take.
So Sven, the follow up question to that is, and maybe it's a good one, especially for people who are new. Like, where's this token going to show up? Like, when we talk about an airdrop, is this going to like show up in a Tron wallet? Like, how are they going to like? How would they actually see their tokens and things like that? Can you explain that?
Well, yeah, it would show up basically in your Tron wallet before it is recognized. It will need to be added to the blockchain basically, so that initially, before there is a set amount of people that are using the token, it will not show up automatically in your wallet, but you will have it because it will be tied to the smart contract and the rules there. So with all of the decentralized exchanges that are available, you will be able to trade it right away, assuming they allow tokens that they haven't validated yet. And we will be working with other exchanges to add our token to the system. Of course, it is the community that in the end decides if the token will have a value or not. But considering that we are using this for voting, considering that we are moving forward and adding other features that this can be used on in the future, if that's what the community wants, then there is a very high chance for that the token will get a value just like most of the other tokens that has been released has.
Which is pretty awesome. I mean, I want you guys to think about this for a second. It's very rare that we have the ability to control some stuff just by the actions that we take. Like the actions that you guys took when you joined Lionshare, the actions that you've taken for building your team. These are all things you're gonna be rewarded for, right? You've already been rewarded in the sense that we pay out 100% commissions, right? And you've had a chance to earn some income for your family. This is a whole nother component to it that gives you that ability to be part of the decision making inside of Lionshare, number one. But number two, as we build this community, we just I think we're close to 96,000 just on the Tron contract, which is pretty cool, right? We're growing anywhere from let's say 500 and up a day, somewhere in that range. As we continue to grow, continue to get bigger, and the community surrounds this token and understands the value in it, all of a sudden, it becomes people want more of it, and the price can go up. So there's a lot of things on that too that I know, Sven, we're going to talk about here in a minute, that people can kind of decide on some of this stuff on the direction it goes, which is pretty cool. Here's a real quick question. This one would be for me. Where can I find the recordings to previous meetings? I have been out of the loop too long. So we do have a YouTube channel that's set up. What we'll do today, because I think it's been a long time since we've done this, we'll throw in all our social media links for everybody to be able to know what the actual official link is there on Telegram, so you guys can check it out, because we do record most of these calls. Another question in regards to calls, someone was talking about the stability of calls. Obviously, we had our ladies that were running our calls for a long time and helping us out, which we were huge and grateful for, and people loved that. We talked about the direction of the calls, making sure that we're adding as much value as we can. One of the biggest things about those calls that we were doing twice a day was the community that was there. Now, in addition, though, we also had some people that were showing up but not really using it for what it was, right? We want to make sure that if whatever calls we have, whatever information we're putting out there, that it's going to add value to you, and it's gonna help you build your business. And as I said, and you've heard me guys say this a million times, I'm forever grateful for those ladies that helped us, and we're doing that. And we will be releasing a new call schedule, and I know that there's people that will want to be part of that we will absolutely get out there and do that. So just keep that in mind. All right, let's continue down here. Now we're starting to get some of these questions in. Okay, so here, Valent, Sven, this will be a question for you. They're asking about how are we looking for a potential of a new release of a system, maybe in Bitcoin, specific to Bitcoin smart contract was Valencia's question, but I think we could roll that into any type of cryptocurrency. People obviously want opportunities out there. So the question is, are we close to having any other smart contracts and any other cryptocurrencies, or where does that stand?
Well, Bitcoin is an open question at this point because we cannot move forward with the smart contract before the infrastructure on their side is in place. So that's the same with many of these that we are looking forward for, because 2021 will be very interesting. There is a lot of big coins that are really close to having smart contract functionality to their blockchain. But the key there is we cannot release something before it's ready. So most of that is not in our hands. We need to wait for them to release the ability, and at that point we can add another contract for another crypto. I'm certain that through the year there will be opportunities, and we will be one of the leading ones to bring new crypto to the smart contract world and release that for our community. But exactly when is a really open-ended question that I'm unable to answer.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of talked about that a little bit on, our last call, as far as, having the opportunity to be part of something that will be one of the very first. I mean, we know we've got the technology behind it, at least on our side. And like you said, we kind of have to wait for, these specific cryptocurrencies to come to the smart contract market and get to where we could actually deliver that. But man, once they do, it's going to be awesome to be able to be part of that. Here's a question, and I'm reading the questions, okay? So I'm just gonna read it. It says, what is the difference between Lionshare and Lionshare Pro? So I don't know if you want to take that, Sven. I mean, obviously we have the security audit in the back office that you can check that out. Do you want to take that one, or do you want me to take it?
Sure, I can take it. The, the I guess the first question I have is, are we talking, what aspect are we talking? Because there's so many aspects here. But if we take it as an overall question, uh, Lionshare Pro at this point is nothing more than a system where you are allowed to create what they call an investment and then get a return on that investment. What they are not explaining is, of course, that for every investment that you make, you need another 1012% from the amount that you invested has to be inserted into the smart contract by somebody else for them to actually be able to deliver on their promise. All the math on all of that is, of course, inside the security audit. But if we're looking from other aspects, they don't really have anything else. Their smart contract is built up over one page where you interact directly with the Web3 integration of your Tron wallet. There is no community built up around it other than other sites that you can register on. But on the same sites, you can sign up basically without needing to be inside Lionshare Pro. So there is no what's the word in English, connectivity between the systems. With Lionshare, we have one system. It doesn't matter if you join Ethereum or if you join Tron, everything is on one side. You have one member's back office. It's one location. There is no segregation between the different sides.
Yeah, well, and my thing, all I would add to that is there's no connection between us and them. It's really that, I would just leave it like that. I mean, so people can make their own judgment based on the security audit that we put out that is pure facts. But as far as a company connection or a smart contract connection, we have zero, and we don't want anything to align us with that for obvious reasons if you go through that. So I'm going to leave it at that. But I'm reading these questions. Okay, y'all, these are not my questions, just so you know. Here's a question: can we please have more professional slides for Lionshare and for our presentations to help us sell better? I would definitely say yes. That's something that we worked on. As you guys have probably seen, we've changed the slide multiple times, like throughout this, whether it be the coloring, and everyone has their own opinion on what it is. We will be releasing. In fact, I mean, I've already had some that are designed just like what would be a what would be considered like the smart contract, PowerPoint if you guys want to use it, and then you can change it to do whatever you want as far as the colors and things like that. But we do want to have one consistent, uh, you know, presentation that everybody can use because as a leader though, you have the ability. This is your platform. You can do whatever you want. So you do have the ability to create your own stuff as well, but we will put that out there. If you guys want to be able to use it, you absolutely can. Okay, so April says she's very new to all this. How is the token different from original Tron? Well, April, the token is going to be released inside of Lionshare. Originally, it won't be listed on exchanges. Just kind of like Sven said, it's going to give people the ability to vote, and then as it grows, we will move into what would hopefully be like another token or another cryptocurrency out there. Tron is obviously light years ahead of us, just like any other cryptocurrency out there. We're in the very, very baby stage. In fact, we haven't even been born yet as far as our token. So that would be the biggest difference in my opinion. Sven, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
Well, yeah, as you said, that's correct. So when the coin or the token is launched, it will have an ID. With that ID, you will be able to add the token to your TronLink wallet. Uh, with that ID, assuming that it's a decentralized exchange that is open to all tokens, you will be able to add the token and trade with it from day one. For other exchanges, we will work on that. What is I think is important on this part here is to think that if we're comparing it to Tron, Tron has matured. It has a lot of funding and things like that that actually allows them to grow. But Tron started exactly the same way. They were a token on the Ethereum blockchain, and then from there they grew into their own cryptocurrency.
Pretty cool to think
Uh,
about.
yeah, so there is so many possibilities there, and whichever direction we will take this, it is not a decision that we will make. It's a decision that you will make as a community.
Well, here's two questions that go along with that. As you can see, people are a little bit excited about this token because that's where a lot of these questions are coming. The next question is, do we know what the token will be called? And I'm going to follow up with that. Do we know how many will be produced?
The token's name will be Lion. For how many that will be produced, that is actually a question that you guys will answer with an upcoming survey. And again, the volume of how many tokens you produce is also something that will reflect the possible price in the future. So it's not a question that we can take or something that we can decide. This is something that the community has to decide. Do they want to have more tokens, or do they want to have less tokens and a higher potential of it to gain a value?
Yeah. So I mean, you hit it on the head. I mean, like if everyone looks at Bitcoin right now, why is Bitcoin so popular? Why has the price jumped up so much? It's because there's a limited number, right? There's only so many that can ever be mined, and once those are done, that's it, right? So that's why you hear those people talking about, hey, there's Bitcoin could get to 500,000, it could get to all these different levels because there is a finite number, and that once it hits that, that's it. So I think the biggest thing that you said there, Sven, again, is that we're going to let you guys decide. That's not going to be up to us. It's going to be up to you, assuming that you participate in that. Here is a comment slash question. Tron Wallet's going to be replaced by Clever on February 28th. Will that affect us at all with the transfer? Do we know anything about that?
The transfer in regards to what? If they're considering airdrop, no. If they're considering the website, no.
Okay, so I think from what I understand that name change is not necessarily going to affect. I mean, your wallet's your wallet. Okay, so there should be nothing that you have to do on our side. I do believe everything will continue to work perfectly. All right. Let's see here. All right, hold on one second. Okay, so people just asking about the PowerPoint and stuff like that. We do have a marketing room that again, we're going to send out several links today just to make sure everyone has access to our social media. And in addition to that, any other Telegram room that we work with. We do have just a marketing only room that you can download any video that we've ever had and all those things that you need. So we will put that out there, okay, for you guys to get. All right, so uh, one of them said, "Hey, we only need a limited amount of coins," which is perfect. So again, I'm reading this question, y'all. So just know I'm just reading it. So that's this is from Ming. Is there proof? And Sven, I'm going to let you take this, okay? And I think the answer is yes. It's in the back office. But is there proof that Lionshare Pro is a scam because it was posted on the security audit in the image of Lionshare Pro? I'll let you take that, Sven.
Well, yes. I hope you have read the audit, because it does explain why it is a scam. It also links to a few cases that explain the same type of scam back in the early 19th century. And the idea behind it and the reason why we had a scam on that security audit is because no matter when you join, the only way that contract can pay you is if several other people lose all their money. That's the only way it can pay you. No matter how much work you do, there's no way you can keep that contract alive. It needs a constant influx of money, and that's just not something that's viable in the long term. It can work for a month, it can work for half a year, but at one point it will not work. And the current interest rate they're having with 1% every day, which basically equals 210% instead of 320, which they say, which over 310 days, I don't even think the contract will last 310 days because it's impossible for it to gain that kind of momentum to have funds in the contract at all times for that long of a period.
Yeah. So, the only thing I would add to that is Ming, just make sure to read through that audit. Now, I will tell you, okay, and I think it's pretty clear just by listening to Sven talk that he's like a different level intellectually than I am when it comes to this stuff. That is a really technical document. If any of y'all have read through it, but he's definitely tried to simplify it as much as he can in layman terms, like simple terms to be able to understand. So just read through it and understand the math. It's for educational purposes. You have to make your own decision, right? We're not here to push you. You do what you want, but we want you to be aware of what's going on. Okay. Simon asked a question. Has the token name Lion been reserved somehow? And basically because there's other people that are mentioning the Lion tokens and LYN DeFi. I guess the real question is have we reserved a name? Is that something you can even do prior to doing this spin, or where's that process at?
Well, the name doesn't matter on a token. The name is what you put on it. What matters on a token is the ID it receives. The ID it receives is basically its name, but to make it simplifier, you're putting a name on it as well. But for people to add that to the wallet and so on, they need to use the ID and not the name Lion.
Okay.
And that's the same with all tokens that are released, for example, on Ethereum or Tron. It's not something that's unique to this case, but it's the same for all of them.
Okay, so here's a great question by Amy. Amy, for those of you who don't know Amy, I got to give props to Amy. She was one of the ones that helped us out so often. Rock star on here, giving us great overviews. Amy's question is, how do we submit other smart contracts to be reviewed?
You will be able to submit those actually quite soon. When we're finished with the questionnaire, we will have another update, and each participant of there will be able to submit 3 different smart contracts that they would like to have reviewed. And then again, it's the community that decides. The ones that receives the most votes are the direction we will start moving, and then we will work down the list.
Yeah, we got a little surprise for you guys here at the end. So make sure you stick here for a second because it's going to be a couple things. Number one, it's going to be driven towards all these things we've been talking about as far as you being able to participate and be part of this decision making process. And secondly, even an opportunity for you to win some Tron. So you're going to want to do it. Trust me. All right. Let's see here if there's any other questions. So are there other? So here's a good question. So Simon's question. So are there other tokens that are called Tron possibly? Because I know there's like a.
Token Tron is no longer a token. Tron is
Okay.
a cryptocurrency.
Okay.
There is a big difference there because you can have what we will be launching will be what people are calling a token initially, and we will be launching it on the Tron blockchain. We could also have been releasing it on the Ethereum blockchain, but because of the Ethereum gas cost, it's not really a feasible solution when we want to use it for voting. So in that direction, there could be other tokens on the Tron blockchain that is called Tron. I do believe there is, because there is a lot of people that is trying to fool people there. They're saying I transferred you 2,000 Tron. Do you see it in your wallet? And if they log into Tron Scan, for example, they will see it there, but it's not actually Tron as a cryptocurrency. It's a token that's worth nothing. So
100%.
if you're unlucky there and you don't see the difference, you could send them the product and you're sitting back with nothing.
Now, Simon, that doesn't mean to go out there and start trying to send people a bunch of fake Tron. I know how you. I'm just messing with you. So April has a question, which I'm going to take this question. April's question: is there a place we can learn how to create a funnel or a website? So, April, a couple things. Number one, one of the things that we're going to learn about here today is, in the direction that we're going as far as, a marketing system and things like that. Again, our community is going to be able to help us decide on which direction we want to go. I have personally done some trainings that you will be able to check on our YouTube page that I think will at least give you a good foundation. That I don't mean that like from an arrogant standpoint. I'm just saying, like, I think it'll give you a good foundation in, getting to the process to actually build your funnel, because you see, most of the time a funnel doesn't do much unless you have some of the foundation before it. And that's like one thing I love to do. So I'm releasing a new training schedule. And one of those are just going to be built around, hey, your marketing system, and, being able to help people, like, come out to a call like this and say, hey, James, can you look at this, or can you take a look at this and tell me, what would you do differently? Because, we're all trying to do something, that is going to be good. There's nothing better in my mind to be able to have a system that can work for you while you sleep, right? Instead of just having to go to friends and family members and stuff like that. I've even said in my story, I've never signed up a friend or a family member in a business. So how is that even possible? And those are some of the things we talk about. So April, great question. But specific to Lionshare as well, there's some marketing system opportunities that you're going to be able to learn about. Okay.
Yeah, let me just have a follow up on that one, James.
Yeah.
So as you mentioned, there will be an opportunity there, and I think what we should just say right out is that there will be a marketing system on Lionshare. The only thing that we don't know right now is the direction, and that again comes to what we'll be releasing later in the call, where basically the community will decide what functionality the marketing system will have.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. Very cool. And Valencia, I'll probably reach out to you because Valencia is talking about how she's had some real good experience with this as well. Love to have you out on a call, so people aren't just getting my perspective; they're getting others. So we'll connect on that, okay? Which I appreciate you offering that. Ty's question, and I'll let you answer it, but I think I know. Ty's question is, with the new Tron wallet shutting down, which I think that means, being taken over by Clever or whatever it is. What's the best way to transfer the new wallet and seeds and private keys? I don't think anyone has to worry about that, but can you reply to that again, Sven?
Well, I hope right now that you have written down your mnemonic key, because that's all you need. As long as you have that written down, hopefully not on your computer in a plain text file, but for example, on a paper that you have printed, a paper that you've written and saved somewhere safe. You just need that, and then you can move your wallet to any other type of software wallet that you would like. You can even have the same wallet on your computer and on your phone. You can have it as many locations as you would like. There is no restrictions there at all. So the most important there is to ensure that you have downloaded your mnemonic. And if you haven't done that yet, if you haven't written that down when you created an account, you can access it, for example, from TronLink by going to the settings and then tell it to reveal it. If you have multiple specific addresses that you want, you can also copy out the private keys, but in that case, the process is a little bit more cumbersome.
I can't stress enough, y'all. If you have not written down your secret 12 keys or 12 words, seed words, whatever you want to call them, make sure to do that. I had a guy yesterday, I'm not kidding, that has $30,000 sitting in MetaMask, and for some reason, every single time he goes to the extension, it's asking him to create a new account instead of just log in. And guess what? He can't find his 12 words, or he didn't write them down, or whatever. So that's $30,000 that he's trying to get. And this is not a joke. I could show you the text message right now because he's freaking out. So just know, take care of your money. Make sure you know what those seed words are, because that's a devastating amount. Any amount of money to lose like that is foolish when it's right there in front of you to be able to do. Okay. All right. Any other questions? I mean, I don't want to spend too much more time, but I'll look here for just another second, and then we can go into the final part here, which is going to be exciting. I hope everyone, it looks like everyone is stuck around because we do have something really cool that we're going to talk about here today as well. Let's see here. Well, okay, will there be more content added to the academy? Well, the answer is yes. Okay, we are always constantly looking for opportunities to add that. There's no doubt about it. But in addition to that, I mean, we're not just looking, when we look at the academy, we're looking at, how we can add value, period. Okay, so it may not be content related to just cryptocurrency. It may be, but it's going to be things that can add value to helping you become a better entrepreneur, and help protect our people. That's why the security audit came out, right? Is to make sure that as you're out there as an entrepreneur and looking at different opportunities, that we can help you at least fully understand what you're being part of. So I think it's going to be really cool. I mean, think about this for a second. This is going to be something that I believe people might just come be part of this just to understand all the different contracts that we're going to be able to review, because it's an intense process, but it really breaks it down. And the coolest thing to me about this, and I've said this from day one, is the blockchain doesn't lie, smart contracts don't lie, right? This is right there in front of your face. You can literally, anybody can do it. When I say anybody can do it, I'm not a programmer, so I can't necessarily totally read the code, but allowing someone like Sven to come in here and do these audits for us is absolutely amazing. It's such a cool product. So that's one thing that we've added, and yes, we will continue to make our products better and better. Marlene's question: once the token is launched, there might be copycats out there. How can we know if it's the correct one?
Yeah, again, that comes with the ID that's tied to the token. Because when you go to exchanges, you will not trade it by name. You can only trade very popular tokens, which has a huge user group on the exchanges. If you're going to trade a token that's not there yet, you will need to actually have the numeric ID of that token, and you'll be trading by that ID and not by the name. But our hope, of course, is that together with the community, we will be able to show that this is a token that has value, and it is a token that will also be accepted at exchanges by actually the Lion name instead of the ID.
Yeah, it's so cool to me to think that, you know, just based upon what you've already done, and other things that you could have value in your hands that you didn't even know to start this project. So it's pretty cool. Jose asked the question, if we have a marketing system, will there be a marketing video that was created in the funnels? I'm just going to answer it really quick, Sven. With the marketing system, and we're about to talk about this here in 1 second. You guys are going to have a lot of say in the directions we kind of go with this. Okay, so when we talk about what's going to be created, it's going to really be determined, like, what do you guys want? We have the ability to do almost anything, which is super cool. Like, but it's going to be up to you to kind of decide that. But as far as videos, content, and things like that, those are all, I don't want to say simple, but they can all be added. It's not anything that's a challenge, but we want to show you, if we're going to have a marketing system, I'm a big believer in making sure it's something that is going to hopefully work for you and be duplicatable out there, and that's really challenging to do. So there's some things that, in my opinion, which is not going to matter necessarily because it's going to be up to you, is what if I was doing it, what I would create. So you guys will have a lot of say in that. But Jose, great question, and Sven, you might have more to add to that, but that's what I would say.
Okay, in that case, I think we should just move forward.
Okay.
So I'm happy that our security audit review was so easy to read that we don't have any technical questions. It's I was really hoping that we would get some there, but in the future, don't be worried to ask any technical questions. As I've said, all that are said in these reviews are backed by facts. And I think I should also mention, in the event that you are unfamiliar with it, is that the entire test suite that we used to verify how the smart contract work is available as well in your members back office. It's the download that's called Code. With that, you can download it, and there is a README file there that explains what you need to install to actually run and also verify these tests on yourself.
Hold on, Sven. So just to make sure that everybody got what you just said, basically what you're saying is, hey, number one, not only are these based on facts, we're literally giving you the code to go test it yourself if you want to prove that, hey, these are unbiased opinions. These are reality, like math facts and smart contracts facts, not just like, hey, we want to pick on a specific opportunity. You're saying that people can actually download the code if they want to and test it themselves.
That is correct. And also one thing that we can add there is that even if you don't want to test the code, we have added a lot of comments to the smart contract that actually explains what's happening inside the smart contract. So if you would like to learn more about how a smart contract works, it could be an idea to download it just to read over the comments and the smart contract, because we're explaining what's happening at the different sections to give you a better overview on how it works.
So I want to add one thing to this, and then let's get to it. You guys have heard me talk about adding value out there to the marketplace, and a lot of people are always trying to find like, well, what is that value that I could add? I guarantee you, if you took a little bit of time to study these smart contracts and looked at these comments and began to understand it, you automatically know more than 99.9% of people out there, right? Imagine that. Like, imagine being able to look at a smart contract, not being a programmer, not knowing how to read code, but being able to understand what you're looking at and be able to make videos on that, to when you're really looking at an opportunity to be able to understand it a little bit. It's a cool thing. So Sven, I love the new product. I don't know if people fully understand the value of it yet, but I think they will really soon. So let's give it back to you and let's tell people what we're doing.
Okay, sure. So on the webinar we had before Christmas, we said that you, the community, will decide the direction Lionshare will move forward. And as you know, we usually say what we mean, and we meant every word. So now we will release the first survey, and you will be able to decide what we will do next. And again, anybody that completes the survey will be able to participate in a sweepstake, and this is completely optional. It's up to you if you would like to participate in the sweepstake or not. From that one, we will draw one winner of 10,000 Tron, one winner of 5,000 Trons, and 5 winners of 1,000 Tron. Please note that you will only be able to enter once into the sweepstake, so any additional submissions that you make with the same wallet address will be deleted. And the survey itself will cover topics like the marketing system. What would you like the marketing system to do? Because there is so many choices there, all depending on what you would like to have the ability to do. We will tackle questions like languages, the security audit, is that something we want to move forward with? What other smart contracts should we be reviewing next? Should we add ranks to the system? The Lion token, there is questions regarding that you need to decide before we can move forward with it. Questions about what kind of content you would like to see on the Academy, and several more topics. All I can say is that we are looking forward to see what the community collaborate on this, and together we will bring Lionshare to new heights.
Yeah, absolutely, Sven. Well, I know I'm excited, and I hope you guys got that. I mean, basically what we're saying is that you're going to have a survey that you're going to be able to take right there in your back office that's going to allow you to basically help us decide the direction of this smart contract. You know, where are we going? And for participating in that, it's going to automatically, include you in some drawings and some sweepstakes. So make sure that, there's a lot of people that didn't make it here today, right? Because we're always looking for the best time to get people out. We'll definitely communicate this on Telegram, but make sure that your team, make sure that, even your non-team people that you're communicating with inside of this community know about it, right? Because we really truly want your help. We want to know what the field wants, because there's no way of us knowing. And this is such a unique situation. I've been like an owner or CEO of multiple companies, and there's so many times that I've always thought that I knew what people wanted, and then I found out really quickly I didn't. So here's an opportunity for us to really get it. So I would ask you guys to take this seriously. This is not one of those surveys that you just want to take really quickly just to get it done. This is something that determines your future if you're going to be part of Lionshare. So take advantage of it. Now, Sven, just really quickly, where will they find this survey? Can you let them know?
Yeah, so the survey is live at this point. If you can't see it when you log into your back office, you just need to refresh the page because you might have a stale cache. But it will be linked directly in the top menu right beside Office. So it's easily accessible by anyone.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, Sven, I want to personally thank you for coming out here today. I'm sorry for kicking you out of the room. That was a whole mess for those of you who got to participate in that. You got to see me a little bit flustered there, but hey, so be it, man. But listen, I want to say thank you to each and every one of y'all for taking the time to come out here. We are committed to this community. Obviously, for us, it's important for us to understand the direction that y'all want to go. That's why we built this whole thing around it. We're excited about 2021. It's going to be an amazing year. And, I say this all the time. We're looking for people to step up. We're looking for leaders that want to be part of something. So, if you want to have a bigger role in this community, reach out to me, right? Let's see what we can do and what we can work together. I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good evening. Coming out and answering the calls. All right. See y'all. Have a great day.